Hey guys, Bigrat310 is here again. Thank you all for who wished for me to be better. I was feeling sick for a while. I'm very much better. I'm not 100% yet. You know, I'm still coughing a lot. I'm not sneezing as much blood, but the blood is kind of still there, but it's not that bad. Obviously, I'm not as pale. I can walk around more. My throat doesn't hurt. I'm slowly growing back to eating regular foods. But anyways, thank you all. I went back to school today. First time I went back for a week and a half. Okay, this is my massive Q&A. I'm sorry. I never wanted to do this. If you go back and watch True Slayer and the Dirty White Boy, when they were consistently doing Q&As, they always said, my Q&As are very selective. I only pick the best questions, and I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to make sure I got all of them, but this is a 76 question Q&A. Probably will be done over a 4 to 5 day span. Questions stemming from November. I've done 3 videos where I've said, put your Q&A in the comments. I have 76 questions. That's insane. So, and most of these questions are kind of repetitive. So, I am going to be a little more selective when it comes to these Q&As. But first, rest in peace, Jack Briscoe. I did not make a video when Dr. Death Steve Williams died. Purely because I'd seen some of his matches, but I hadn't really seen a lot. I'd seen very little. I'd seen like 4. And I didn't really follow the guy. I knew much about him. I knew he was very popular in Japan. I knew he had great success in early WCW, I believe. Early WCW, or was it Jim Crockett Promotions? I can't remember. Well, the match with Kobashi was in '93. And, but really, I didn't follow his career enough, and I didn't think it would be... I thought it would be out of taste for me to make a video of a guy I didn't really know, like, you know what, to get views. I didn't like it. But Jack Briscoe was a legend in this business. I'd seen several of his matches, several of his NWA title defenses. One of the most important wrestlers. Jim Ross, I believe, said that Jack Briscoe was... I know he was... I remember he said it like it was nonchalantly. I know he was undefeated in college wrestling in college. Oh, yeah, he was just undefeated. And Jim Ross says he probably never lost a point. That's pretty impressive. And, you know, the Briscoes, one of the inducted to the Hall of Fame last year. Very, very, very popular tag team. And I pray for the Briscoe family, for what they're going through. He was a legend. I'm not putting it in the title because I do not want to garner views. Because, again, you know, it wasn't like Umaga where I really loved the guy and I followed him. I didn't, like, completely follow this guy, but I knew enough about him that I want to pay my respects to Jack Briscoe. And rest in peace. Alright, now let's get to the massive Q&A. 76 questions. This is going to be a 5-part thing. I'm not going to do it all in one day. I'm going to spread this out. Question number 1 from Cake320, who sent me these first questions like back in October. What was the first wrestling match you ever saw? Steve Austin versus Scotty 2 Hotty in a squash match in 2001. When they were booking the Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Rock versus Booker T and Shane McMahon. What was the first wrestling match you ever saw? Oh my god, you had the same question twice. I didn't even know that. Okay, we're at 75 questions. If you could book a match for a WrestleMania main event, what would it be and why? All really depends on who's hot at the time, who's the better draw. But if you're asking from like personal taste, I'm actually going to take the easy route, so I'm just going to say Edge Jericho. I think that's a perfect WrestleMania main event for this year. I think you can book it perfectly. Like for any other one, I just don't see any young guy right now who I think can take a WrestleMania. Even if they do have the talent, you need more than the talent. I just don't see a guy who I can see main eventing WrestleMania being the star of the company of any of this roster. I'm not just going to pick 2 main eventers. With The Rock is toasting in January, that's how old these questions are. Do you think that he and John Cena will have a match or something? What do you think about him coming back? I can answer the second part of it. I like The Rock coming back. You know, obviously he was one of the first DVD I ever bought was from The Rock. Kind of led me into the wrestling business. I do not think he will fight Cena at this year's WrestleMania. I personally don't think... I think The Rock is one of the only legends that if he comes back, he'll put on a very, very good match because I think he's still talented in that way. But I personally don't think he's going to fight Cena at this year's WrestleMania. I think they would have built this to it a while ago. I don't think this would be something they put together. And it really looks like they want to do Cena Batista, which has been their money match that they've been trying to book for almost a year and a half. They try to have their rematch at Survivor Series 08, I believe, and then they try to have their WrestleMania 25 match, but again, who got injured that time? Batista got injured. I would like him to come back, though. I have no problem with that. Do you think that the ROH HDnet show is a hit or miss? Again, this was a while ago before the HDnet taping got really hot, so no. Have you been enjoying Impact recently? Recently, in November? Yes, I was. Now? Hell no. Sucks. I keep watching... I can't even watch the full show. I skimmed through it. I delete Impact off my DVR last year several times. I might do it again. If you can merge WWE TNA and ROH into one promotion, how would you book it? Pretty much do it. I would not try any invasion angle. I'm going to make a video on that soon, by the way. I mean, people always want to see these promotions have an invasion angle. I don't think so. I think no matter how you book it, there's going to be several problems with it due to basically who's winning, who's going over. I would not do an invasion angle. I would have all the talent there. Obviously, I would have more shows. Like, obviously, we'd have ROH's show on Monday, have that be a part of the WWE promotion. Maybe in the inter-promotional pay-per-views, I would kind of keep it out how it is now. Kind of like Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. Except you just merge them, make some roster cuts. Maybe even have another show during the week. I would not do an invasion angle. I'm sorry. I'm against it. And I actually liked the invasion angle from 2001. And I'll explain that. AAA or ROH? ROH. What is worse? ROH marks or WWE marks? TNA marks. Out of those two, I'm actually going to say ROH marks in this one. WWE marks are kind of innocent. I don't know that much. I'm not gonna insult WWE marks here, but WWE marks are kind of innocent about the wrestling business. They're very calm. They stick with what they love when they were kids. Like true die-hard ROH marks, like kind of the ones on the message boards sometimes, really love their promotion so much that they want a certain thing to go the right way, and if it doesn't, they get pissed. That's why they crap on almost every single one of their champions ever since Morrison. Did you like Naomichi Marufuji versus Kenta? I almost saw it. Smokey told me to see it, and we were going to see it, but then I never did see it. Who is better, Kenta or Kenta Kobashi? Well, right now, Kenta Kobashi, I believe, has cancer. But overall in their careers, Kenta Kobashi, easily. Yeah, I believe that. Do you think AJ Styles is one of the best high flyers in the world? I don't really consider him a high flyer. I consider him very athletic in the ring. But high flyer, I just can't think of him as a high flyer. Is he one of the most athletic guys I've ever seen in this business? Yes, I can say that. Do you think Bryan Danielson is truly the best in the world? Yes. In my opinion, actually maybe Kenta might be better. In my opinion, a lot of wrestlers are more entertaining than him. Kenta, AJ Styles, Amazing Red, Davey Richards, Morrison, Mysterio. They're more entertaining, but Danielson is definitely the best technical wrestler in the world. There's no doubt about it. I've never seen a man who can get himself over. I'm going to put that in the description box. If WWE... Actually, I'm not sure if I will. Just go watch Bryan Danielson versus Chavo Guerrero and see how a guy who does pretty much straight submissions in the WWE in a kid-branded market got himself over in a dark match. I've never seen that before. He's just that good at it. And technical wrestling is considered boring by mainstream wrestling fans. Besides Desmond Wolfe, who's done a very good job, Bryan Danielson can pull a crowd into it, which is just amazing. He's the best wrestler in the world. Do you think Randy Orton would have been where he is now if he had kept the cocky, arrogant gimmick? He kind of did keep the cocky, arrogant gimmick. Except he stayed a little more vicious. I'd venture to say he would have gone farther. How many cocky, arrogant heels do you have? I know every heel must be some sort of cocky, must be cocky in a certain way. But if you look at the heels nowadays, would you really consider Batista cocky and arrogant? No. Would you really consider... Okay, Sheamus. Orton, not so much. I was thinking of another one. Damn it. Punk? Kind of, but then he kind of went into the whole straight edge thing. Every heel is cocky and arrogant in a way, but I like this. I do think he probably could have gone a little farther than he is now because the Viper gimmick just isn't doing it for me. The punt, which he sometimes knocks him out, sometimes it only works for a few minutes, a la John Cena, a la Hell in a Cell. I know you didn't like SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, but have you played SmackDown vs. Raw 2010? No, I have not. People tell me it's really good. Have you ever bought ROH DVDs in a store or only online? You can buy their Koch DVDs at Fi or Best Buy, I think. I just wanted your opinion. Oh, those questions were US Hardy, CaptainPhenomenal, the other ones. C Brown 1592 says, I just wanted your opinion. Do you think TNA should set up these rivalries? Daniels versus Suicide. For some reason, I don't think Suicide's gonna unmask anytime soon. To be honest, he's wanted his release from the company. I think people I just don't think it's going to be happening too soon. AJ Styles versus Sting. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Joe versus Angle. They should do it, but it's gotten to the point where they've done it so many times and in very many stipulations, they really have to book it. You can't just throw it on another pay-per-view like they did at Hard Justice. I think they could do that, but you really have to like put a lot of work and time into that and do it right. Mr. Anderson versus Desmond Wolfe. Mr. Anderson needs to brighten up his style, so no, not yet. Who has more main event potential in the WWE, Dolph Ziggler or Jack Swagger? WWE said they gave up on both of them, but out of the two, I think Jack Swagger has a better chance. MacDad67. Last question to Wrestling Knowledge. What are your thoughts on the talented new ECW tag team, Trent Brennan and Kevin Croft? I like them, but really, I think people are going crazy over them. I mean, yeah, they're good, but like I honestly, maybe because I've seen so many great tag teams on the indies this past year, I just think they're good, but not amazing. Also, what are your thoughts on Luke Gallows, who's doing a great job with CM Punk? I think he's very, very good now. I'm Bigrat310. I'm out, guys.